Welcome back to BayouTime. As you can see from the opening shot, we have on the desk now, on the left of your screen, Thibodaux Police Department Chief Scott Silverii, and immediately to his left, we actually have Corporal Nadria Jones, who's also with the Thibodaux Police Department. And on the far end, we have Corporal Timothy Lipscomb, all with the Thibodaux Police Department, and want to welcome you all to the show.
Appreciate you having us.
All right, good. Scott, Chief, can maybe we start with you with regards to, first off, Happy New Year to all of you. I mean, you're kind of getting back into the, you at least always work. Y'all work 24 hours 7. I'm starting to get back into the work week at the law practice and over here. But let me just ask you in general, talk about the holidays and just in general from a law enforcement standpoint. Sure.
Well, you know, someone had asked earlier today, well, how are the holidays? I said they're over. Yeah. And you're right, because for us it never actually ends. But I tell you, Jim, we had a fantastic holiday season. I believe personally and professionally, and most importantly for the city of Thibodaux. Right. And one of those results, or what we'd like to talk about in a little bit, is this initiative we started 2 years ago called Home Safe for the Holidays. Right. And you know, we're always looking for exciting opportunities to reach out to the community and partner with them in meaningful ways. And I was talking to some of the staff last year, and I thought, you know, I remembered back my mom was a business owner and started a bridal shop in Thibodaux. This is 20 plus years ago, and the holidays were so critical for that business success. And she would man that shop sometimes 12, 14 hours by herself. And I thought, we got so many of those people in Thibodaux, the mom and pop shops. And why not go there every day and just say hello, make sure you're okay. I mean, is there anything we can do or whatever? So we started that initiative last year. And we retooled it this year, and I'd asked Nadria Jones to come about, and because she took the initiative. She's really, really involved. She's done things like that. Back in September, she actually, what I would say, inspired me to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, to where she wanted to do something special in the community, and that's just the way she is. She takes the lead in the initiative, to where we wore the pink memorial ribbon on our uniforms for the month of October, and then she takes the lead for this Home Safe for the Holiday initiative. Right. So we have some numbers. I always like to bring numbers, but the reality of it is it's people like Nadria and Corporal Tim Lipscomb that keep that community partnership that results in the reductions in social harm.
All right, very good. And maybe we can talk to Corporal Nadria Jones. And Nadria, can you kind of give us a little bit about, you know, the program and how it's was successful?
Yes, sir. I just go out to the different shops and all. I just ask them how they're doing. Do they need any help? Just letting them know that we're there for them. Right. They need us to, you know, walk them to their cars at the end of the evening. I mean, sometimes I get invited to have lunch with them. They ask me to have, you know, offer me hot cocoa. I mean, just a good feeling that they know that we're there, and that they feel safe that we're knowing that we're there. Right. And I guess you kind of answered my next question, was how was it received? But apparently, if they invite you in, they must like. I was asked today if, oh, you're going to keep doing this all year round? I'm like, no, sorry.
There you go. Okay, and we also have Corporal Tim Lipscomb. Corporal, let me just ask you, from your standpoint, did you also participate in this program?
Oh, I'd like to think that we all do, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, good.
We pretty much, we try to talk to as many, you know, owners.
Right.
To any business in Thibodaux. We like to go around and, you know, see what they're up to, what they have new, you know, for the holidays and and everything else, make sure that they're okay and have everything taken care of.
And how, I know Chief kind of talked about it a little bit, but how does, from your perspective, the holiday period, I mean, how does that kind of affect you in your actual job?
I'd probably say that you would think that crime would go up because people are looking forward to the holidays, and I would say that it tries to, but we try to put an end to it before it happens.
Sure, very good.
And that's the whole point of the Home Safe for the Holidays thing. You have an officer goes around, you know, stops in at shops at unannounced times, and that way they, you know, they can be seen by anybody who would think about doing any harm to the business of the owners. Okay, very good. And I know, Chief, you had kind of said something before we started the program about, you know, the visibility and, you know, how that all, I guess,
goes together with your efforts for crime
Right.
prevention.
And you know, it's a multifaceted program, the Home Safe for the Holidays, and Nadria served as a tip of the spear in what we call a cop in your shop, and that was the daily personal visits to those businesses that participated, and then Tim and the rest of the department, we always use data. I mean, there's no such thing as randomized patrol. It's very specific, very laser focused in the way we do things, and as a result of that, when we always go back to at least a 3 to 5 year statistical base, but the incidences of property crimes and thefts and things like that are usually associated, like Tim said, with the holiday season. Based on that 3-year average, we saw about a 40-something% reduction in total property crimes, which could be your lawn ornament, you know, with the blow-up Santa Claus, or maybe shoplifting thefts. I mean, over a 40% reduction in those crimes based on just good common sense community policing practices. Like Tim said, the stopping in at any time of the day in the businesses, it gives them that sense of assurance. Some of the mom and pop shops where they have to close up in the evening, you know, they were obviously concerned. They would stay open extended hours, and with the darkness that came in early, there was some concern. So we made sure that our, Nadria and the other officers were there. But at the same time, like I said, she served as a tip of the spear. But guys like Tim Lipscomb and out there, they were out there doing what we call high visibility enforcement. Right. And as a result of that, we had really a tremendous year in the reduction of social harms associated with crashes and crime. Just one of the numbers, I like to give numbers, is
Sure.
Nadria actually made in a month's time 1,640 visits, personal visits. Yeah. And of course, because we like to log everything and look for performance measures, I thought, what a wonderful number. I mean, 1,640, but we try, Jim, we look at the bigger picture. We don't look at the outputs. How many tickets are made? How many arrests are affected? Right. How many stops? What was the outcome, not the output? Yeah. And it was over 40% reduction in property crimes. So that's pretty significant.
Oh, very significant, no question about it. And let me ask you, because you are obviously a data person. I mean, yeah, because every time we kind of talk, you always have some base to start, to look from, and you chart things as you go along. How important do you find that is, I guess, in your efforts, for law enforcement in Thibodaux?
Right. Well, it's the cornerstone. I mean, I think it was Vince Lombardi that said, if you're not keeping score, it's just practice. And, the safety and security of the city of Thibodaux and the residents, it's serious. It's not just practice. So, and, patting yourself on the back just doesn't cut it. I believe that the people, we've got to be good stewards of the resources that they trust us with. And that's everything from the money to buy the gasoline to the overtime hours for doing special operations. We have to be accountable for that. Right. And for me to go to my mayor or my council or even, my cohorts and say, we're doing a really good job, that doesn't cut it. Right. The anecdotal stories of success, so it's got to be based on statistical analysis. And as a supervisor, we always focus on working smarter than hard. We want to be more efficient, more effective. So, we look at business models where of efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery. And you can only know where you are in that success of that model is by looking at the statistics, the quantitative data. So we've been very, very successful. And again, not just a pat on the back, an empty pat on the back. It's data that we use, that we drive off baselines. So much so, Jimmy, that we've always pledged to be transparent and accountable. That was our mayor's mandate in the beginning. And, Tom and I talked about that, from the start. So much so where we post our crime maps on our webpage for public consumption, and we send out press media releases once a week giving crime statistics, or I say intelligence reports for the citywide and in certain areas, what we call in the DDAX program, which, we've talked before about those being the statistically highest areas for crashes and crime, where the people in that community experience, the highest level of social harm. Right. So when you look at those things, when we're looking at directed patrol, instead of a guy like Tim or Nadria going out and just patrolling for 12 hours, burning the taxpayers' gas, I always ask why. Why are you in the area that you are? Well, prior to the, to the creation of this paradigm of using data, they really had no reason. Well, that's because that's what I always do. The traditions of the past, reactive-based policing, don't cut it. Okay, well, that's a good point, and I don't mean to interrupt, but why don't we need to go ahead and take a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more, I guess, in detail on the DCAPs. DDAX, yes, sir. DDAX. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. What we'll do is we'll be right back. Don't go away. We'll have much more tonight on BayouTime.